From the Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Arnab Goswami on the debate at 9. Presented by Amity University. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group and Fujitsu General.
Good evening and welcome. The CBI has been asked by the Kolkata High Court to investigate the alleged rape and murder of a minor girl, just 14 years old, in Hanskali in Bengal's Nadia district. The victim died and the family alleged that she had been gang raped while attending a birthday party of the son of a local ruling Trinamool Congress leader. And after being gang raped, she was dropped at her home, where she died within a few hours because of her injuries the next morning at 4 o'clock. Her family says they were prevented from even taking her to any private or government hospital despite her horrific injuries, which she died of. My dear viewers, the situation in Bengal gets more and more worrisome by the day. Truly. What is happening there? Innocent women and children among victims burnt alive in Birbhum. Less than 2 weeks back, and now this level of brutalization, followed by a blasé response of the state government, which initially tried to trivialize this indescribable crime. Viewers, the problem with many state governments these days is that they take honest reporting to be criticism, and instead of correcting themselves and bringing some semblance of justice, try to balance it out by targeting the media. And I ask tonight, but for the media, would the people of India have known about the horrors of Birbhum? And now what has happened in Hanskali? The nation demands justice, and the nation, ladies and gentlemen, wants to know. I am looking at this entire matter in detail at 10 o'clock tonight. What has happened in Hanskali, the most unfortunate incident, now a CBI inquiry on that. And ladies and gentlemen, my first debate this evening on the obvious attempt to provoke, target and polarize, but most importantly provoke the Muslim community in India. Digvijaya Singh's, what he's done, just the latest example, post Khargone. And at 10:15, 10:20, we've been bringing you live coverage from New York City, where there has been a shooting which has happened in a subway. Still, the terror angle has been not yet confirmed, but we have details and we have live reporting from the spot. Ladies and gentlemen, here are the headlines this Tuesday evening on the debate tonight. Shots fired in a New York subway, exact number of casualties not known yet. New York police say active search is on for an armed person who managed to escape the spot. New York Police Department is not calling it a terrorist attack yet. Joe Biden has been briefed on the emergency.
At a particular religious place, you allow them to indulge in illegal acts, and then subsequently violence takes place. So conveniently, to hide your complicity and your failure, you blame it on the Muslim.
All-out politics over communal violence across 7 states during Ram Navami. Parties try hard to pour fuel into the fire. CBI to investigate the Hanskali rape case. Calcutta High Court seeks a report by the 2nd of May.
I noticed you refer to oil purchases. If you are looking at energy purchases from Russia, I would suggest that your attention should be focused on Europe.
And Jaishankar hits back at the Western media on Russian oil imports, says Europe purchases more in one afternoon than India does in a month. And ladies and gentlemen, a shootout has just taken place in New York subway station. This happened in Brooklyn. And visuals of the attack started coming in about a little before 7 o'clock our time. I'm joined by Smita, who's joining us from outside Manhattan. Smita, we told the FBI has just come into the spot. What more details do you have? And when we spoke to the NYPD spokesperson, he was not confirming whether this was a terrorist attack. What is the nature of the attack from what is known through official and other sources?
Yeah, so thanks for having me tonight. You know, what I can tell you is that the latest numbers that I've just been able to confirm with a police official here is that 16 people now are hurt as a result of this attack. So as you mentioned, it happened earlier this morning here in New York. It's about 11:30 midday. This happened during the morning hour commute, where, of course, there are the most number of riders on the subway. The subway system here is the main form of transportation, so it happened really at a peak time. So we do know that those people, 16 people, again, have been hurt. They've been taken to area hospitals. So right now, I'm here in downtown Manhattan. I'm not far from this site, but we are told it's a very active look for, there's still a very active search for the gunman. And so it's safer for us to be here because down there, there's still some chaos as people are searching for this gunman who's on the loose, who did this attack this morning, hurting so many people.
It would also be a matter of concern on how someone managed to get the arms into the tube.
Yeah, so here in New York, there's unfortunately not a lot of security when it comes to taking the subway. So what that means is that, you just have to swipe a Metro card, go underground. There has been more of a police presence. Even where I am right now, you can certainly see, there are police officers behind me, to the right of me, to the left of me. So there's definitely been more of a police presence here these past couple of months. But as far as security on the subway system itself, it's very minimal at this point. So it certainly is pretty easy to understand how something like this could happen.
Smita, thanks so much for joining us from New York City. We'll keep connected. Thank you.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, for our lead story now, it's been about 48 hours since the violence during Navami. And as the administration works to mitigate the situation, some people want to keep the communal cauldron boiling and burning. They want to instigate, they want to provoke, and they want to create a climate of insecurity. Can the pattern to provoke and incite be brushed aside? Here are the developments leading up, and then we shall debate.
As the people of Khargone and beyond still grapple with the impact of violence during Ram Navami,
शीतला माता मंदिर पर मौजूद हूँ, जहाँ पर आपको ये स्पॉट दिखाता हूँ। यहाँ पर भी तोड़फोड़ की गई थी। ये जो पत्थर आप देख रहे हैं, ये पथराव किया था। और मंदिर के अंदर की मैं आपको तस्वीरें दिखाना चाहूँगा कि पूरा जो मंदिर है वो देखिए अस्त व्यस्त तहस नहस किया है। जाहिर सी बात है, दूसरे वर्ग समुदाय के लोगों ने इस मंदिर में तोड़फोड़ की। रामनवमी के जुलूस के बाद जो सांप्रदायिक हिंसा हुई है, उसके बाद दोनों गुटों में मारपीट हुई है, पथराव हुआ है, आगजनी हुई है। घर की हालत किसने की है, सामान किसने?
ये सब यहीं के लोग थे, सब यहीं के लोग थे। हम रोजा खोल रहे थे और एकदम से और पत्थरबाजी करना चालू कर दिया।
वजह क्या बोल रहे थे वो?
कुछ भी नहीं, वजह कहीं नहीं। हम तो हमारी जान बचा के भागे बस। उनके पास बड़े बड़े हथियार थे।
the Madhya Pradesh administration has commenced the demolition of illegal constructions of alleged stone pelters.
84 लोग हमारे गिरफ्तार हो चुके हैं और इंजर्ड 27 लोगों की घायल होने की सूचना में।
सर, ये जो कार्रवाई हो रही है, ये जो गृह मंत्री ने आश्वासन कहा, उसके बाद उसी का नतीजा है?
नहीं, हम तो देखिए, हम अपनी सारी कार्रवाई लीगल करते हैं। जो कानूनी कार्रवाई हो, विधिवत कार्रवाई हो।
The action against alleged culprits is being used to provoke by those like AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi.
You have complete disregard for the courts, for the judiciary, for the police, for the law. You have become a law unto yourself, and now you have made Muslims homeless because you have decided you have become a law unto yourself. This is completely illegal. It violates the Geneva Convention, and it is a collective punishment has been given to the Muslim community in Madhya Pradesh by the BJP government.
Tweets with misleading pictures were circulated and then deleted by Digvijaya Singh at a time when the situation is already tense.
दंगाइयों के खिलाफ कड़ी कार्रवाई जारी है। आज सवेरे मध्य प्रदेश के पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री श्री दिग्विजय सिंह ने जो ट्वीट किया, धार्मिक स्थल पर झंडा फहराने का, वो फोटो मध्य प्रदेश का नहीं है। श्री दिग्विजय सिंह ने मध्य प्रदेश में धार्मिक उन्माद फैलाने का षड्यंत्र रचा है।
With all these Twitter handles from Pakistan and Turkey live tweeting on the Ram Navami related violence across India, it is clear that there was a plan to escalate the communal strife in the country. Taken together with the PFI press release of April 1, a day ahead of riots actually happened in Rajasthan, there seems to be larger conspiracy which the agency should be looking into.
Fact is, there is an underlying pattern to create and prey on insecurity to create a divide. It happened during CAA, in the name of NRC, citing films like Kashmir Files, using the hijab row, and more. There is a concerted and undeniable attempt to divide, provoke, and incite. Tonight, it is time to call them out. Let's debate.
One side is getting very angry and upset that why have the houses and homes of illegal structures of people who were pelting stones during the Ram Navami procession in Khargone, why have these structures been demolished? I don't know why they are complaining. I think that's the best thing to do, because it teaches these people a lesson so that nobody tries to do something like this again and doesn't take the law into their own hands. And by the way, whatever has happened as per the law. So let me begin by asking Ehtisham, for example, and welcome Shikha Mukherjee, Pankaj Sharma, Abhishek Sudhir, Advaita Kala, Rizwan Ahmed, Mohandas Pai and Shazia Elmi. Ehtisham, what's the problem? If these people pelted stones, tried to create communal violence, tried to target a peaceful procession in Khargone, and if the state government has demolished their structures, it's great because they won't try to do this again. What's the problem? What's the problem?
Arnab, it is for judicial forums and courts to decide that who had committed the wrong and who are innocent person and who are guilty. It is not the job of BJP leaders to punish anyone, either it's belong to Muslim community or Hindu community. Bulldozer cannot be substituted with Constitution of India. Our country is governed by Constitution, Indian Penal Code and CRPC. The process and the methods which BJP government is using in demolishing the houses is sheer.
Can you tell me which part of the question to you is, and Shazia, can you explain to me which part of the Constitution was followed when a temple was destroyed in Khargone, with even the idol not spared and the temple premises were wearing a desecrated look, right? Can you tell me under which clause of the Constitution of India was? I want to know, because you quote the Constitution to me. I just want to know which clause. I'm also just. I'm just saying, Shazia, which clause of the Constitution was used by these rioters, by these stone pelters when they destroyed a temple in Khargone where the idol was not spared?
I mean, Ehtisham, where is your outrage? Ehtisham, where is your outrage? I mean, surely even you believe in the you cite the Constitution.
Shazia, I think you should open your eyes and you should see the situation.
You must feel very strongly about it, right?
A 70-year-old woman has been beaten
black and blue by goons, and you are keeping silent on this issue.
Cite it. What is this?
Surely you must cite it with as much passion as you do.
We are Indians first. We are human beings.
When it comes to raising of a temple, we are Indians. What happens to your Indianness? What happens to your Indianness when it comes to pelting stones at a temple? That's what I'm asking you. That's what I'm asking you. You are human. It's very easy to talk about being human, and it's very easy to talk about being an Indian.
Court procedure. So 1 minute. No. Viewers, the touchiness. If I may, the touchiness comes up because of the use of the bulldozer by Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and I think Shivraj Singh Chauhan has done a very, very good thing. Mohandas Pai, very, very good thing. He set a lesson. We need to use the bulldozer.
Facing the criminal prosecution.
Yes.
We need these bulldozers.
1 minute.
Because in Maharashtra, bulldozer and your house has not been demolished by bulldozer.
Okay. So I'll tell you one thing. He tries to say today, Arnab, you are facing criminal prosecution. I want to tell Ehtisham Hashmi, read the order of the Supreme Court And any citizen of this country who faces criminal prosecution by a person of Parambir Singh's credentials takes it like a badge of honor. I take the criminal prosecution against me by Parambir Singh as a badge of honor, and I am going to defeat them in the court. I've already defeated them in the court. So don't try to put Arnab Goswami on the defensive. I don't get on the defensive. I'm asking a straightforward question. I'm asking here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, my question here tonight is this: there are visuals. I'll show them on the screen. There are visuals of completely destroyed houses. There are visuals of completely destroyed houses. Rooms filled with soot. Rooms filled with soot. After the rioters entered the houses, they bashed those people living inside. They burnt their homes, Mohandas Pai. And now, when Shivraj Singh Chauhan uses the bulldozer against their private property, we're being told, oh, this is anti-democratic. Was the riot democratic? Was destroying a temple democratic? Was pulling out the idol from inside the temple, Mohandas Pai, and destroying the idol, and in the process, therefore, severely damaging the religious sentiments of the Hindu community? Was that democratic? They won't answer that. They won't answer that, Mohandas Pai. Mohandas Pai.
Arnab, as far as the demolition goes, government has made a statement, I think, to say these are illegal constructions belonging to the miscreants. These are being demolished. These are illegal construction and not legal construction. It so happens that the miscreants are the same who threw the stone. I think you need to verify it from the government so that we don't get all these people making silly statements that, they've taken the law into their own hands, like OIC said. I'm sure the government of any state will not take the law into their own hands and break the house of innocent people without following the process of law. Because everybody knows people will go to court. And in the court, the government has to answer. And the Madhya Pradesh government has said these are illegal constructions, and the law is clear. As far as the illegal construction is concerned, on government land, government can demolish it without giving a notice. Let's be clear about that. We have seen provocation, stoning, when the Ram Navami procession went in front of a mosque. There were stones, there were swords there, people came out and destroyed. All of them should be penalized, all of them should be prosecuted severely for causing harm, and nobody in this country should protect such people. Anybody who resorts to violence belonging to any community in this country should face the full force of the law. Violence is not acceptable in any civilized society, much less India. And any person here justifying violence should be pointed out and should be condemned. Violence by anybody, I repeat the word anybody, is not acceptable. And the government must come down on them very, very heavily. Yes. On that, we have to be very, very clear. Now, we have seen Ram Navami, that you cannot keep stones on top of mosque. You cannot have stones there, and they were all blocked there. They were all kept there. We have seen people with swords go there and yell and scream at people. We have seen temple demolished. I hope everybody on this panel will condemn this violence. Now tomorrow, if the religious structure of any other religion is demolished, we should all condemn it. We should stand for the law, and we should not take sides. And we should not have anybody from any religion doing this. I think we have to be very clear. Let us go by data, let us go by facts, and let's not take sides for any violence created by any section of society.
People don't like to accept the facts in our country. And when anybody says, so for example, if I say, and I'm going to say here, that Hindus were targeted, then I'll be told, oh, you're a right-winger. If I say Hindu homes were targeted, properties of Hindu residents were targeted. The streets in the area are strewn with stones and bricks. And even today, when our crew in Khargone went, we showed how the property of Hindu residents were targeted. I'll be told, oh, Arnab, you're such a right-winger. You put out such a right-wing narrative. It's the right wing, as in right, as opposed to what is wrong. It was done.
There should be an article, Arnab, there should be an article in New York Times.
Yes, there should be.
Hindus are under threat.
Yes, there should also be an article, Shazia. There should be an article on how a person called Digvijaya Singh. There should be an article on how a person called Digvijaya Singh tweets a fake picture, Pankaj, to say that there are saffron flags put on a mosque in Khargone. What a falsehood! He puts out a fake picture, and it is not innocent. Rizwan, I know you want to come in, but I want to go to Pankaj before that. It is not innocent. He knows what he's doing. He's trying to villainize the Hindu community. He is trying to stoke communal fear by sharing a fake social media post saying that in India, saffron flags are being put on top of mosques in Khargone. It turns out to be an old image from somewhere in Bihar, not even Madhya Pradesh. Did he not know, Pankaj, that it was a fake image? Why was he so desperate? Pankaj, why are people like Digvijaya Singh so desperate? Why are people like the PFI saying there is a larger conspiracy to provoke? There is a conspiracy.
Shameful.
What was Digvijaya Singh's conspiracy, Pankaj?
Former CM of the same state.
Precisely. What action should be taken against Digvijaya Singh, in your view?
Incident of a stone pelting on Ram Navami procession at Khargone in Madhya Pradesh is as condemnable as the episode of hoisting Bhagwa flag on the mosque.
There he tries to balance it out, Rizwan. He goes again, balancing. The balancing act in full play.
The principal
They're balancing. No, I want to talk about Khargone.
Do not balance.
No, he's trying to balance it out. This and that, this and that, this and that, this and that. Next he'll say Babri Masjid also happened. I am asking you a specific question. No. I am asking you a specific question. Pankaj, my question is, Pankaj, my question is this. Listen to me, Pankaj. Listen, Rizwan, just a minute. Pankaj, have no fear. Don't try to run away. Tell me, why did Digvijay Singh put out a fake picture of saffron flags being put on top of a mosque? And why do people like you or Shikha or any of you not go into this Twitter?
I haven't spoken a word.
Oh, you haven't, but I don't know if you've really, gone to town against what Digvijay Singh has done. Pankaj, why did Digvijay Singh put out the fake picture? Why did he try to say that Hindus are putting saffron flags on top of mosques? What is the intention? What is the intention? Please give me a focused reply.
See, this you must ask Digvijay Singh.
No, but what is his intention? You read his mind. You comment on so many things. Comment on this too. You comment on so many things. You comment on this too. You comment. Why did he do it?
Mr. Goswami,
No, why did he do it?
Can I ask you one question?
No, you don't ask me. I ask the questions here. I am asking the questions here.
Are you aware of all the facts
I am asking the questions here.
Incident?
I am asking the questions here.
Are you aware of all the facts of Khargone incident?
Yes, I'm completely aware of the facts of the Khargone incident, you tell me.
You are not aware.
I am completely aware. More aware than you.
You are not
more aware than you. More aware than you. More aware than you.
See, the Ram Navami procession in Khargone was, that made a deliberate halt for more than 1 hour in front of the mosque at the time of Maghrib Namaz. Then there was some verbal altercation and the actual clashes happened between
I made a point yesterday.
Processionists and the police.
No, one second. One. I'll get Rizwan into the debate, but I'll just tell you one thing. Yesterday I said that the great thing about my country is that there is no Hindu area or Muslim area. There is nothing to stop a Muslim procession in front of a temple. There's nothing to stop a Hindu procession in front of a mosque. And I wish an educated person like you did not talk like that. Rizwan, educated person like you using this kind of mindset is not. You didn't answer the question on Digvijay Singh.
You should tell your viewers. The actual fact.
No, I'm telling you the actual. You didn't answer the question on Digvijay Singh. Was a saffron flag put on a mosque? Was a saffron flag put on a mosque? Answer me. 1 minute, Rizwan. Was a saffron flag put on a mosque? Was it put on a mosque?
It was put on the.
Was it put on a mosque? No, sorry. No, Mohandas is not answering the question. Was it put on a mosque? I'm asking a question. Answer my question.
By anybody in this country, please.
Don't
justify violence. People who have done violence have done wrong. Period. Don't justify it.
Support that.
Don't justify violence.
Nobody is
justifying anything. Violence.
You are justifying violence. Can you justify?
Don't justify violence. If you have a problem, call the police.
In Bihar.
Call the police. You cannot take the law into your own hands. Don't justify violence. Nobody should take law into their own hands.
I'm getting no. You see.
Violence.
I tell you. I tell you. Look at the PFI, for example. Look at I want to go across right now to Rizwan Ahmed and Shikha and Advaita and Ehtisham. Coming to all of you. You see, people are trying to create a climate of insecurity in this country, Rizwan. I'm telling you. And the PFI, for example, wants to create a riot-like situation in the country. They want to incite Indian Muslims. When soon after the Ram Navami violence, they say there's a larger conspiracy behind anti-Muslim violence during Ram Navami rallies. So they're trying to make it look anti-Muslim, and they're being helped by fake news propagators like Digvijay Singh. The attempt is, and what does the Campus Front of India, Rizwan, mean when it says Muslims should, quote-unquote, prepare for self-defense? Muslims should prepare for self-defense is what Campus Front of India, which is a wing of PFI, says. And Digvijay Singh puts out a false picture of a saffron flag being put on top of a mosque and tries to pass it off as a picture from Khargone. There is a pattern here. There is a pattern to provoke the Muslim community. These people want polarization. They want violence, Rizwan, no doubt about it. Rizwan is on the debate. Yes, Rizwan. And then Shikha. Abhishek and everyone else, and Advaita.
Yeah.
Rizwan.
Jai Hind, Vande Mataram. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram. Thank you so much. Number one, I wanted to correct Mr. Ehtisham, but all the good that Mr. Mohan Das Pai corrected him before me, that he should stop propagating a wrong narrative that houses were demolished. The illegal constructed part of their houses was demolished, so you can question the timing, but you cannot question the demolition. Number one, make it very clear, Ehtisham. Number two, Arnab, I ask a very fundamental
yes, I can
question.
The demolition.
All the panelists sitting here.
Let me speak. Process has not been followed. Have you seen the Constitution of India? Have you seen the IPC? Have you seen the demolition guidelines passed by
my name is Rizwan. Let me complete, Ehtisham. Ehtisham, let me complete. Ehtisham, let me complete.
Your name is Rizwan. Your name is Iqbal. It's immaterial for me.
Number two, Arnab.
It's immaterial for me.
Where did you learn where did you did your education from, man? Don't you know how arguments are done? Don't you know?
First show me your certificate.
Good, you are not a lawyer. Had I been arguing something, had I been arguing something, you would have interjected in front of the court.
Go to Supreme Court of India.
I am a lawyer. When you are speaking, I am not supposed to speak. I am a lawyer. When I am speaking, you are not supposed to speak. When you are speaking, I am not supposed to speak.
Mr. Rizwan.
I am not supposed to speak, Mr. Ehtisham, when you are speaking. This was taught in class 4.
How dare you to verify my credential? You can't ask my credential and my documents.
This was taught.
Anyway, let's go back to the issue. Let's go back to the issue. 1 minute. People quote the law. People quote the law.
This was taught in class 4.
No. 1 minute. He's trying to make it out. 1 second. You see, 1 second, Rizwan. What Ehtisham is trying to do is very interesting. He's trying to portray an image that India is a society intolerant to Muslims. India is a society that leans towards the Hindus. His attempt is very clear. Ehtisham, I don't want your interpretation or my interpretation. When I carry out my interpretation, I will carry out mine under 19(1)(a). You speak after I have finished. I am telling you what I think you are doing. I am telling you about what I think that you are doing. What you are doing is what they are trying to say. Thank you, Ehtisham. I don't like being spoken over. I like people who can formulate an intelligent argument after my obviously pointed questions. And if you can't, then it's your problem. But my question is, I'm going to Shikha. They are saying houses of Muslims were demolished in revenge action by the Shivraj Singh Yadav government. Now, Shivraj Singh Chauhan government. The question here is, they are saying Muslim-owned shops, Muslim-owned homes have been demolished by the Madhya Pradesh government. This is the argument, right? What is the fact? The fact is there are transparent records of how properties belonging to 45 people accused of rioting were demolished. It had nothing to do with religion, Shikha. Many of the homes were those of Hindus also, right? And the government only demolished the homes of buildings which were deemed illegal, right? So this whole narrative, see what happens is, Shikha, earlier these kind of narratives were put out and there was nobody to counter. Now there are channels like Republic which call out these lies on open television before millions of viewers. Why is there an attempt at provoking Muslims? What's the idea really? Is it the result of electoral frustration? Why provoke Muslims like this repeatedly? Isn't it becoming a bit too obvious? Hijab issue, CAA, on the Ram Navami issue. What is there? Is there nothing else to do? Why?
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head, Arnab, that there is an attempt to create a communally divisive, entirely toxic, totally shameful environment at this point in time. And I think that, the Khargone episode is one among many, and that is what is really disturbing. 2 people dead, one in Khambat in Gujarat, another in Lohardaga, and the fact is that this seems to be part of a whole narrative that has been playing out for some time. And the problem is that there are so many actors in this narrative that, who is right, who is wrong, everybody is wrong. In my view, everyone who has contributed or participated in creating this narrative is wrong, is completely unacceptable kind of provocation that they have been sort of spewing probably in the hope of creating a problem. I mean, what is going wrong? I cannot understand why Khargone is not where the killing happened. Here are 2 people dead, one in Kambat, one in Lohardaga. Ram Navami. Is this what Ram Navami is all about? Whether it is the Muslims or the Hindus, there is something
Don't equalize.
Why
My question is, okay, so here's the question. Don't equalize. I'm asking you a counter question. You tell me one thing. I'd like to bring Advaita also into the debate, and here's one thing which comes to my mind. Ram Navami, Advaita, is a Hindu festival. Okay, there are lots of Hindus in this country. If people celebrate Ram Navami, why is an open celebration of Ram Navami in the form of a procession, in the form of an open celebration, in the form of a happy celebration, in the form of a celebratory celebration, seen to incite and anger some people? Why? Why do they get angry to see Hindus celebrating their festival? Why? No, why? Why is there? Why do people who celebrate a festival get stone pelted in this country?
Being defended? Why doesn't Ram Navami procession in Karoli
by saying Muslim area
have to have
why is it being said that this goes went through and
toxic?
Ma'am, you've already spoken. Let me speak.
As part of
Let me speak. You've already spoken. You've already spoken. Let me speak. Let me speak.
Why is
Let me speak. You've already spoken.
The center point of so much. That is wrong.
Well, let me speak. Are you finished? Okay. This has not happened just in one state. This has happened in 7 states. You kept mentioning Gujarat. The man who was killed in Gujarat, I'll give you a name also. His name was Kanhaiya Lal Rana. He was a 65-year-old man who was pelted with stones and died. Now, you please explain to me what provocation. Is there any provocation that is enough to justify this act? I'm shocked that people have come up with things like music, like Muslim area. For heaven's sake, this is a country where 5 times a day, the general population has to listen to there is only one God and he's the only God, without any problem, without saying provocation and leading to violence. So let's not feed this hypocrisy, for heaven's sake, and try and justify violence that has led to deaths. It's unforgivable. And I support the Madhya Pradesh government for the action that they've taken. They must take action. And it's illegal structures that they have demolished. And it's very good that they have. And please remember, this particular town that you're speaking of, Arnab, in 2018, Muslims took out a procession outside a temple. And there's a man with a gun that is being waved around. So there is a history to this. So let us not come on and try and act ignorant and all is well with this situation. It is not. It is a dangerous situation. And we should not be providing covering fire for anybody.
I think what she's saying there, Abhishek, is this, that if Muslims were to take out a procession in quote-unquote an area which was demographically there were more Hindus, then it would be seen to be a proud expression of religious freedom in this country. One of those, that's what Advaita is saying. But if Hindus were to do the same, they would be seen to be provoking riots. I think this doesn't work, no. And one more. But yes, Mohandas Pai is saying something. Yes, Mr. Dr. Pai, you're saying something?
No, Arnab, what is this provocation, Arnab? What is this provocation?
Can I tell you what is provocation? Okay.
We're all citizens of the same country.
Okay, so I'll explain.
The land belongs to all of us.
I'll explain it. Thank you for asking the question. Nobody asked me questions I want to answer, and therefore this is a question you ask, what is provocation? I'll tell you. When Kashmir files happened, then they said people were getting provoked, and I didn't understand. I keep asking people like Abhishek Sudhir, why do people get provoked when they see the truth in a film called Kashmir Files? Why do they get provoked? Why do they get provoked when on Republic Day, Mohandas Pai, in Gupkar Road in Srinagar, a 50-meter national flag is proudly paraded by children? Why do some people, Mohandas Pai, get provoked? That also provokes them. Anything that is good for the country provokes them. Why do they get provoked, Abhishek Sudhir? They incite Muslims during CAA. And some people say, if Sarjil Imam type of people, if we can have 5 lakh organized people, we can permanently cut off Northeast from India for at least 1 month. When I question it, I'm told, why are you getting provoked? It's his individual expression. We are a free country. So I can't get provoked, Mohandas Pai, with what Sarjil Imam says. But people will get provoked if some innocent people celebrate Ram Navami peacefully on an important day in the Hindu calendar. Why do they get provoked? Why do they get provoked? During the hijab row, going around and telling the whole world Muslims can't exist freely in this country, bunch of lies. But I am told, when I question that, I am told, no, that's an expression of free will. Why are you getting provoked? So this question is very relevant, Mohandas Bhai. Who's provoking?
Yes.
That's my question tonight. Abhishek Sudhir, your turn. Who's provoking here and why are people getting provoked?
Yeah. See, no amount of provocation can ever justify resorting to violence. This is a country that was built on two principles, truth and non-violence. These were the two guiding principles of Mahatma Gandhi, Ahimsa and Satyameva Jayate. At the end of the day, you can never resort to violence. Similarly, under Article 21 of the Constitution, right, the state cannot deprive a person of their life or personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. The Supreme Court has said that that procedure established by law must be just, fair and reasonable. The question I ask, because it's a question Anthony J. Blinken, Secretary of State of the United States, has also asked today, is are there human rights abuses by the government of India? He has said that in the presence of Jaishankar and Rajnath Singh. Both the ministers had nothing to say. And when the state bulldozes the homes of minorities 24 hours after they've been accused of a crime, where is the judgment? Where is the procedure established by law? The state cannot take the law into its own hands because the citizens are taking their law into their own hands. There has to be a difference between the state and the citizen. Why is the government of India embarrassing us on the international stage? Shazia Ilmi, why are you embarrassing us on the international stage? Why is Anthony Blinken having to give you a verbal spanking? Why is Anthony Blinken having to say that the government of India is committing human rights abuses? Aren't you embarrassed? Because your government, your Prime Minister, your Foreign Minister, your Defense Minister are an international embarrassment to every Indian.
It's not a great sign at all whatsoever.
I'll only tell you this, please. I just want to say one thing because he made some comments out there. I want to say something. Well, Abhishek, you made some comments.
I want to remind you. Let me finish. No. He has said his bit. No, I was on a channel, on an international channel. I can give the name. It's called Al Jazeera. There were 3 other Indians along with me who talked about hijab ban, knowing very well there is no hijab ban. Knowing very well that the courts of India are very independent, knowing
that the state law as the spokesperson of the ruling party to the Secretary of State of the United States,
I know people like you lie.
That you are a police
people
state.
like you lie just to give. No, does it? No, he did not say that first of all, and I do not believe.
In front of Jaishankar and Rajnath Singh has embarrassed you all, and you have no response.
So for me, no, I don't think so. People like you want that to happen, but people like me would never hold that for any importance
human rights
because I know what goes on in my country.
Can I just Shazia, may I just intervene for a minute? May I just intervene for a minute? I want to bring in one minute. Rizwan. One minute. Shazia, can I come in for a minute?
Mr. Abhishek.
Rizwan, can I say?
Mr. Abhishek.
Go on. Yeah, go on, Rizwan, go on. You speak first. Nowadays, you people don't let me speak anyway, but you speak.
Mr. Abhishek, the country you are talking about, questioning our human right. In last 5 years, 35 blacks have been shot by white policemen on the roads, on the streets of that country. Number 1. Number 2, USA openly admits about Islamic terrorism.
Rajnath Singh and Jaishankar should point out Black Lives Matter.
Oh, listen. America only admits, America openly admits about Islamic terrorism. They say Islamic terrorism exists.
Okay. No. I think we're moving away. I'll go to Advaita on this. You see, I think somewhere down the line, A problem is, Abhishek, now, Abhishek, chill now 1 minute. Chill now, Abhishek, listen to me for 1 minute. Problem is somewhere down the line, I think people like you have this inferiority complex about America. I want to tell you a couple of things here which will put it in perspective out here.
Exactly.
I was saying to an American yesterday on the program, Mohandas Pai, that by 2040, we will be a bigger economy than America in purchasing power parity terms. We will be a bigger economy than America. We'll be the second largest economy. We'll be the second largest. You're laughing at that. Don't you know
Don't make jokes now.
The problem with you is, the problem is Mohandas Pai, his level of ignorance shocks me. It is the reality. No, Mohandas Pai, we're getting distracted. We're getting distracted. But when I tell him, no, the problem is, no, I want to catch him right there. Mohandas Pai, let's catch him right there. He says that's a joke. I'm telling you, I want this man to do some research, and I repeat, by 2040, India will be a larger economy than the United States of America in purchasing power parity terms. Only a person who doesn't know anything about anything would laugh at a fundamental fact like that. The fact is now allow me to complete. Now allow me to complete. I'm responding to you. It is time for you to listen to what I'm going to say. Here is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is volume down. I'm saying the whole world is looking up to India right now. The whole world is looking up to India right now. We are being complimented across the entire world for leveraging our strategic and economic clout in our foreign policy response to Ukraine. And as far as the foreign minister is concerned, I say I'm damn proud. I am damn proud of Jai Shankar and the way he responded to the American media out there when he said, you're asking me about the purchases of oil? We buy less oil in a month than Europe does in a day. I was so proud at the subtlety and direction of my foreign minister's speech. It's not people like you with an inferiority complex towards America who respond in that manner. Mohandas Pai, let's go back to the subject on who's provoking.
He should have told Blinken.
I don't think that's what
Arnab, the United States has a policy of interfering in the affairs of other countries. India does not interfere or comment about the internal affairs of other countries. That is the difference between both the countries. And that is why our foreign minister did not comment on the fact. You know, the US interferes. They do it for the political reason. India does not. That is our policy. Like you said, blacks have been shot. There are human rights violations in America almost every other day. There are gunfights. Even today there are gunfights. And we don't comment. We say it's the internal policy. But that country comments on everybody else. There's a difference in the approach of both these countries. And I don't know what this gentleman is talking and mocking. I don't understand his language at all because he doesn't understand.
Let's go back to the subject. Let's go back to the subject on who's provoking. He's moving us away from the subject. The subject is Advaita. Who's provoking? Who's provoking? I'm saying they try to incite Muslims during NRC, during CA, during the abrogation of Article 370. They continuously try to do that. Let's come back on the subject. I'm not here to discuss Blinken. I'll discuss Blinken another day. Let's come back on the subject. Khargone, I say, proves everything on who's provoking. Advaita is back on the debate. Let's bring the debate on track. I say, Advaita, there's a toolkit to vitiate the atmosphere. There's a toolkit to vitiate the atmosphere all the time.
It's parallel. It runs parallel, Arnab. It is to vitiate the atmosphere and also to deflect from the issue. So it's a two-pronged approach. Imagine now for a moment if across 7 states on Christmas, churches were attacked. Or on Eid, for example, mosques were attacked in synchronicity across 7 states. What would be the narrative? What would be the international media's response? What would be said? It would be insane. But today what is happening? We're talking about one town in Madhya Pradesh where some illegal structures have been demolished, and that becomes the human rights issue. Not the fact that there was widespread violence across 7 states. A temple was destroyed. 2 people lost their lives. One, a 65-year-old old man who was pelted with stones and died. Now that is the issue. But instead, we will talk about Blinken and we will talk about this and we will talk about that. But you won't address the fact that this is alarming, that across states, processions were attacked in this way.
Obviously, it was planned. And why are people uncomfortable about talking about it, Pankaj? What's the problem in saying that Hindus were targeted during Ram Navami when they were carrying out processions? What is the problem in talking about it? Do you think that there's an attempt at victimhood here? No, there's a narration of fact. I'm not saying all Hindus are being targeted. Advaita, I'm not saying that. I'm a practicing Hindu. I'm not saying I'm being targeted. I'm saying an incident happened in which Hindus, proudly celebrating their festival, were targeted. Why don't you say, yes, they were, and it's really terrible that they were? Instead of questioning about why, what not, what Blinken said, and Falana Thikana. Why? Why, Pankaj? Why not accept? Hindus were targeted. Hindus were targeted, right? And they were targeted during Ram Navami, which hurts. Which is very hurtful that in our country, Hindus celebrating Ram Navami were targeted. Why can't you say that? Say it today. Say it. Shazia is here. Say it to her. Say it to her.
But then...
Let's become mature. Say it to her. What is but then?
But then...
Why but?
But then...
Remove the but. Say it was. But kyun lane ki zarurat hai?
You must...
Don't bring the but in.
You must tell the viewers all the facts. And then tell me one thing, don't you find the response of the state governments strange, Mr. Goswami?
No, I think it's appropriate.
That in one case, BJP's Shivraj Singh government has arrested 84 persons and bulldozing the houses of alleged miscreants. And in another case, the government of Nitish Kumar, who is an ally of BJP, has not arrested anyone.
I don't care about the politics of it. You're going about the politics.
He is saying investigation.
I don't care about the politics of it. I'm talking about what is right and wrong. Shazia, he's bringing back the politics. Shazia is responding right now. Pankaj, Shazia responding to Pankaj. Shazia responds.
Yeah. And this is a question not just for you, sir. Sir, this is a question not just for you, sir, but like Arnab just said, is a practicing Hindu. So to all those who believe in religion, or I'm sure they're human beings that believe in humanity, they're practicing humans at least. In the month of Ramzan, now when we just celebrated Ram Navami, many of my brothers have, isn't it sad that politics has corroded us in such a deep way that that's all we look at? Nitish has done that, Nitishji has done that, Shivrajji has done that. Don't you feel sad that it has come to this, that we are actually justifying killings? That we have nothing to say about illegal construction and destruction of those homes? That a 65-year-old man died, and when we are all right with it, because you know something, he was a Hindu man. And you know, we are with the Marxist Mullah nexus. Doesn't it hurt you to even think like this? I think we are scarred beyond redemption to be like this, sir. For us as practicing Muslims, Hindus, human beings, what has become of us?
Yep.
And I really beg you all to stop this. I'm shocked at how Digvijaya Singh has behaved. To have a picture, to have a photograph from Bihar, to post it from his home state.
Yeah.
And just to promote enmity.
Yeah, why?
Just to promote enmity between
But
communities.
it happened in Bihar,
so that there would be bloodshed.
It
so
happened
that
in
would
Bihar.
Fight. And for Rosedars, what is the idea of Ramazan? What was the idea of Ram Navami?
What happened in Bihar?
What is happening to us?
Are you ready to condemn what happened in Bihar?
Well, I'm looking at Abhishek, thank you very much. I'm looking at the pattern here. I want to go to Shikha. Shikha and Rizwan. Shikha and Rizwan. Shikha and Rizwan. I think when what do you think?
10 seconds.
Rizwan, I'm just getting an offer. What is going on in Digvijaya Singh's mind when he puts out a fake video of somebody hoisting a saffron flag on a mosque? And when the picture turns out to be fake? He's trying to create a riot. Is there any doubt in your mind, Shikha? He wants to really provoke Muslims and say,
I think Digvijaya Singh has been terribly irresponsible, and there are various ways in which he can be held to account legally, and it should be done, and it should be a kind of test case, because this kind of irresponsible act by senior politicians, or for that matter anyone else, including that man who says that if there is a Muslim prime minister in India, which will happen inevitably, then 50% of Indians will disappear, they will be converted, 10% will go out. I mean, all of these people need to be booked, and they need to be held accountable for being irresponsible, for provoking people, and for intensifying the toxic, divisive environment within which all of us are having to survive.
Yeah. Yes, Rizwan.
Arnab, a very small question to Mr. Pankaj, Mr. Abhishek and Mr. Ehtisham. If a procession is passing from your house and it provokes you and you get provoked, do you have stones in your house to throw at them? Do you have stones in your house to throw at them? The answer is no. Why don't you ask how these people have stones in mosque, have stones on their roof.
No, it appears,
even if they are provoked.
it appears,
If I am provoked,
Rizwan, without a doubt, let me say this to you, it appears frighteningly, it all appears frighteningly premeditated, and that's why we are debating who's provoking this. On the other side tonight, we've seen a decision by the Kolkata High Court to turn around the case of what happened in Noida district, the rape and murder of a minor girl, to the CBI. And why the response of the state government was so worrying in that case. That and much more, including the New York subway shooting, in a few minutes.